Alrighty, we are live. Welcome back to another watch party. It is game 20. And we're already basically a quarter of the way into this regular season. And the Nets are in a far better spot than I could have ever anticipated. The Nets are taking on the Orlando Magic today. And it is the fourth match for the NBA Cup. We've played Philly, we've played the Knicks, and we have played the Hornets. The Hornets were the only team we beat. The Sixers, well, we got done in by them by about 15, and, well, the Knicks, it was a 1-point game, but those fixtures indicate an Eastern Conference record, which we're pretty shit in. We've only won 3 of our 12 games against the East, but then you go to the West, and we've won 6 of 7. And, of course, 3 of those wins came on the road trip just past. First against the Kings, then against the Warriors, and now against the Suns. And so, interestingly enough, the last 4 games, we have had, 4 different 30-point scorers. We had Cam Johnson score 37 at Philly, Thomas score 34 at Sacramento, Schroeder score 31 at Golden State, and then Tyrese Martin scored 30 a couple of nights ago. So that's the first time that has ever happened, and it's all happened on the road. So we now go back home and we play under the Barclays Center roof. And funnily enough, our starting 5 includes Tyrese Martin. We actually, we saw one 30-point game and were like, say less. You know, it's actually nuts. He's gone from being a bench warmer to getting a start today, and he will start alongside Ben Simmons, Cam Johnson, Jalen Wilson, and Zaire Williams. We have no point guards on the court. Well, we do. Ben Simmons is probably going to get a lot of usage tonight, and we're going to need to see the same aggressiveness that we have seen, for those 20-something minutes he played the other night against the Phoenix Suns. 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists in that game, and he was unbelievable. He was unbelievable for us. And I do like the fact that we've started Tyrese Martin knowing that Ben's going to get a lot of basketball. I don't know how many assists of Ben Simmons resulted in Tyrese Martin points, but I'd say a large portion of those, there was a bit of chemistry between those two. So I do like that that inclusion by Geordie. I imagine that was potentially a part of the thinking behind it. And we've got a lot of length on the court. And the Magic are a pretty lengthy team. We have played the Magic once this season already. And we have, we lost that game by about 15 points. We got 24 from CT in that game, 20 from Schroeder, 15 from Finney Smith. But Cam Johnson, he was playing nowhere near the same heights that he's been playing at in the month of November. He's on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits in the month of November. And it's not just 50, 40 flat. It's 51% from the field, 43% from 3, which is just a remarkable haul. Given in this first fixture, which was game 2 of the season, Cam Johnson went 2 of 10 from 3. So he hasn't shot it nearly as bad since that point. And Ben Simmons had a pretty quiet game. We didn't have really any bench contributions. So, but in that game, we did hold Paolo to 15 points, but Franz Wagner scored 29. Now, I imagine that we probably have the personnel to go with them, given all that length on the court. There's not really a short player that you can sort of attack and exploit, because usually Cam Thomas would be that mismatch that teams sort of target, and are pretty successful in targeting as well. So, they don't have that shortcoming right there. And also off the bench, Mo Wagner scored 18 in the first fixture. Well, in that game, that first fixture we played, Claxton did play, but he only played limited minutes. He is back tonight, But he is yet again coming off the bench in there with a bit more of a conservative approach. So the key today is just, well, first and foremost, don't let 6 Magic players score in double figures. They shot 52% from the field and 50% from 3 in the last meeting. And so we need to ensure that those percentages go down. Because, yeah, it's we're not going to win a game of basketball usually if you concede, well, if you allow scores at those shooting splits. But this Nets team is generating some brilliant looks, and that's just the Geordie offense. I don't know how many times there's been a play set up for Cam Johnson, but that's probably a huge part of why, you're seeing the best out of CJ, because I don't think he's been given these sorts of looks via set plays, well, since his Phoenix days. And even then, I imagine it would have been done more sparingly. But this time around, he's one of the main focal points of the offense because, there's not really anyone in his way, and there won't be anyone in his way today. But I think the other key parts of our wins in recent memory, the points off turnovers, the fast break points, just the turnovers full stop. I mean, we forced nearly in excess of 20 the other day, and we exceeded that mark against Golden State. We forced Kevin Durant into 7 turnovers. So it wouldn't be great for my fantasy team, but if Franz Wagner can be held to the same sort of outcome here, then I think we'll be in with a really good shot, because in their last 11 games, they've won 10. So this is another big test. They started pretty slowly without Franz Wagner, or with Franz Wagner and no Paolo. It took a little bit of time for them to adjust, but all of a sudden, they've been on a roll, and there hasn't really been too much stopping them. Orlando have to be, hands down, the most boring for their starting lineup graphic. I mean, I can't even see who the hell's on that graphic. It's probably the worst and most boring color palette, but I'll name it for you. Suggs, Caldwell Pope, Franz Wagner at the 3. Wendell Carter was out for quite some time, but he is back now playing the 4. And Goga Bitadze is playing the 5. So they are going into this with a very tall front court. And, we probably don't have that size, but we do have a fair amount of length, physicality, and overall just a good sort of application. And that usually gets you pretty far. That's gotten us pretty far in the in recent times. So it'll be interesting to see if we carry that right the way through to a game against an Eastern Conference opponent, because we just don't, we don't have that as strong a track record this season with the Eastern Conference if you compare it to the West. It's just good vibes amongst the group at the moment. I mean, I don't know if you saw on Instagram or Twitter or whatever the social media was with that footage of Tyrese Martin entering the locker room post-game after that 30 piece. Of course, had the post-game interview, so he was the last man in. But it was a Gatorade shower to the max. And, mate, there was never any escaping it. But that, honestly, you honestly needed a headphone warning before that, because there was just yelling and, cheering and all that sort of good stuff. So it's really good to see the positive vibes in Brooklyn. It's been a long time since this sort of vibe has, existed for the Brooklyn Nets, because when you had KD and Kyrie, it was an expectation you won, and there was a lot more expectations, a lot more riding on each game. And then last season, of course, you just needed to win, but I mean, that was a real struggle, right? It was pretty difficult watching that team, especially in the back end of the season, when you knew the season was done and you knew there was you didn't know what was going to come next for this team. You didn't know what the future was like. But now we've got the belief that we have a brilliant young coach that can hopefully carry us right the way through. And so that's already a good positive sign. But then we've got a number of players who are exceeding their ceiling that we thought, we thought that you could cap out at the ceiling and that was it. But a lot of these players, I mean, you're seeing Tyrese Martin get a career start tonight, his first one after scoring 30. So this coach's belief in players, I don't think JV would have ever done this. And look, the expectations this season, the pressure on Geordie is a lot different compared to JV. We had to win last year. Now we don't, but here we are playing freely, and we will see if we reap the benefits of that freedom today. It is the Nets taking on the Magic in Game 4 of the NBA Cup for the Nets. They are 1-2, the Magic 2-1, and the Orlando Magic win the tip. Go inside and miss the layup. It's a good rebound there by Ben Simmons. Suggs trailing. Simmons takes it all the way in. They didn't even pressure him. They weren't physical with him. And Ben Simmons is on the board the exact same way that he was in the last meeting against Phoenix a couple of nights ago. The Nets will play defense here. Batadze handling on the perimeter. Suggs skip past to Carter in the corner. Close out by Wilson. Carter has too much size and the dunk on the baseline. That's going to be pretty difficult. If you allow a runway, then you've just got to get out of the way. Simmons fakes the handoff, picks up his dribble as he tried to drive it in. Batadze was a brick wall. Martin on the wing. Wrap around for Johnson. Good D by KCP, who looks to be getting that assignment. A tough step back two there for Cam Johnson, and the pressure forces the miss. Vagner on the outside, guarded by Zaire Williams. They will feed Carter in the post. Vagner gets it back, and the dunk. They repeat it. If it works the first time, you go at it again. And the Magic have scored 2 early posters. Simmons is going to go at Batadze again. Plants the pivot foot. He needs help. And passes to Johnson, who will go baseline on Wagner. He picks up his dribble. Good cut by Williams. He missed the push shot and the rebound by the Magic. So they've done well of forcing a few tough looks for the Nets early on. Quite contested. It's Wagner on the perimeter, guarded by Simmons. Cross court to Suggs. That is a lot of room, but he is long on that shot. And the rebound by Simmons, who's getting a lot of early touches. Martin to Johnson. Simmons is looking to go to the basket early, but oh wow, that's a brilliant three-point make there by CJ. 5-4 Nets, and that was a bit of a better look. Not much time to possess the ball, but that's probably when you see Cam Johnson at his best, when he's a spot-up shooter. It's Franz Wagner on the wing. He's going to drive, nearly lost the handle, and then stood on the side. So we have a turnover, and it is the first one of the evening for the Orlando Magic. And that's exactly what we said pre-game. If we can sort of replicate that Kevin Durant treatment, where he had 7 turnovers the other night, if we can replicate that with Wagner, it's going to go a long way. Here's Martin on the wing. He's going to drive inside and kick out to Wilson, who's got a bit of room, and he's ready to fire, and he hits the tray. 8-4. The Nets have a couple early threes, and they've responded well. That's going to be an offensive foul, and it's Tyrese Martin who draws the offensive foul. The Magic didn't even get into a set there. They barely took a dribble. So the Nets force a couple of turnovers on consecutive possessions, and it's Batadze with the illegal screen, who had his legs outside alignment with the body. And so the Nets will get into another set. It's Johnson on another wraparound. Here's Williams. He's not afraid to shoot. That is off, though. And Wagner with the rebound. Well pressed here by Wilson. Wagner will take it inside, gets around the defenders, passes over the head behind him, and Caldwell Pope honors that brilliant pass. Simmons down the middle, the kick out, Wilson's open again, and he hits again. Jalen Wilson was out the other night, but it doesn't look like he's skipped a beat either. Suggs takes a hit, and it is a foul, the first on Tyrese Martin for the game. So another great, promising start by the Nets. Simmons is very busy early. very, very busy early, and it's just that early offense is allowing the Nets to get into a bit of flow with all that pace on the ball. We get it in to Vagner. Extra feed. Suggs is open on the weak side. That is good. And I don't even support the Magic, and I was holding up the 3-point Sally. 11-10. 8:20 to play. Opening quarter. It's been pretty offensively minded out the gate here. Another screen set for Johnson as he tried to score off the handoff. Instead, we get it to Wilson, and now Simmons at the elbow. Williams will shoot again, and he'll hit again. We've hit 4 threes in 4 minutes. And, mate, the three-point shooting with this team is absolutely ridiculous for percentage. Vagner inside, skip pass again, Caldwell Pope, extra, Martin tipped it, but it somehow landed with KCP under the basket, and the Magic score an easy 2 off glass. So, 14-12. The Nets are 42% from 3 in the last 10 games. That's been the best in the last 3 weeks. Here's Simmons. Wilson. Oh my God, he's going again. It's another one. We can't miss. Oh my. You're taking the piss, mate. 5 of 6 from 3. Early offense again. Extra. Carter. Bitadze rolls. I thought he shuffled the feet. He shoots off glass. Misses. It's great defense there by Wilson, but the Magic get another go. It's another open 3 for Suggs, and this time it's also off. Carter gets the rebound, shoots off glass, and there's the foul that we were waiting for because that was inevitable. And so the Magic will get some reward for a little bit of hustle on the offensive glass there. But, mate, the Nets are out the gate yet again, shooting the ball incredibly well. They are shooting it at 5 of 6 from 3 out the gate. That accounts for, well, 15 of their 17 points, as you can tell. And so let's have a look at the box score. I would imagine Ben's already got a number of early assists here. Let's take a quick look. I should have put him in the player to watch. Jalen Wilson with 9. Ben Simmons has 4 assists already with 2 points and 2 rebounds. He hasn't turned the ball over, and no net has turned the ball over, which is a nice positive sign there for us. So nearly, well, Jalen Wilson has not missed from 3. For the Magic, you've got Vagner, who is doing something, well, akin to that of Ben Simmons, pretty similar. And then you got Carter with 2 points, a couple of offensive boards in there, and KCP is 5. So without Paolo, there's going to be a little bit more reliance on the role players, and they've not started too badly, but the Nets have, well, really, as I said, played with offensive freedom in the last couple of games, and they've already hit 5 3-pointers today, which is just an uncanny start with this starting lineup too. It's actually mental. Like, who would have thought this lineup last year, like if I'd have seen this lineup last year, I would have been worried that I would lose interest in the first 2 quarters of the game because it would be a blowout. But this offense just hasn't really faltered. Miracle Tree, welcome to the stream, buddy. It's good to see you. It's good to see quite a few people in chat today. If you have just joined us, welcome. If you're new around here, welcome. I hope this is a nice, satisfying sort of stream for you. I forgot to update the bloody standings, so just ignore that. We may fix that at the break, actually. I'll get that all fixed up for you, and we can get a bit more of a live look, actually. But in case you have also missed it, Tyrese Martin, he scored 30 points against Phoenix the other night. He's a two-way player, and he's 25 years old, and he's barely played. He was a second-round pick about 4 years ago, and, well, he played more in the G League than he did in the NBA last season, and so tonight is somehow he's somehow a starter. A month and a half after he was he signed as a two-way player. And I believe he is the brother of Caleb and Cody Martin. So the resemblance is pretty much there. So here's He played really well last game. And even in the Golden State game, it doesn't, I don't think the box score did his performance justice. When he came on, the game sort of shifted. He played with the defensive intensity that we needed to get back into that game. And that's why he played out most of the game. Or he played some pretty heavy second half minutes. It's Carter at the free throw line now, who converts the first try, and it's 17-13 now. One more free throw here. So Claxton is in for the first time tonight for, I believe it's Zaire Williams. And so that is the first sub that we make. Wilson out to Johnson, and now Simmons. Claxton fumbles the handoff. The pass was absolutely not there. And Clax has got to do a better job of getting into the body so he can actually protect where that pass needs to go. Like, he didn't meet the ball. And so Clax had to take a foul there, but he's lucky it wasn't a take foul, and they would have had a shot plus the ball. Anyway, the Magic will get into a set. The Nets with their first turnover. It's Carter guarded at the elbow by Simmons. Off-ball movement for Vagner, but a good switch there to block that path off. Suggs is doubled. Good blitz by Claxton. I lost my breath for a moment there. Suggs is able to score off the window and cut the lead to 1. And so Simmons will get it across the half-court line with zero attention by his man. Batadze is disrespecting him from out there, and rightfully so. Off-ball screen by Claxton to try free up Johnson. Claxton rolls. Johnson did well to protect, but then was met at the summit. Front on. And now Wagner will drive on Claxton, get rid of the defender, and score. Muscles his way to the rim. And Claxton, well, didn't do a great job there of holding him up. Early offense usually succeeds. Here's Martin. It's a 3, and it's off. So not quite as much of a scorching start to this game. I mean, that was his first shot. Suggs nearly lost the handle, so he had to roll it back out after an initial drive. He's guarded by Simmons across court to KCP, and now Wagner will step back for 3 over Wilson and hit the tray. He's on, as he has been for like the last month. They're on a 9-0 run since Claxton's come into the ball game. Simmons with the right hand, the skyhook almost. So Simmons' second basket of the game. That's a positive sign to see. Keon Johnson and Milton getting ready to sub into the game. Wagner with the pump fake gets inside, and Wilson reached, and Wagner was on the gather. So it will be free throws here for Franz Wagner at the 4:56 mark of the first quarter. That's a work of art there by Ben. Well done. So Ben, after a 14.9 rebound, 8 assist performance against Phoenix, he scored a couple buckets. He's got 4 assists in the ball game already. So he's definitely been involved. But the problem is the Magic through Wagner. Has got the lead back. So Jonathan Isaac in the game, a defensive juggernaut, some would say. Probably internally, that's what they'd say. He is into the game as Carter goes to the bench, and Suggs is also out for Anthony Black. Wagner makes 23-19. Watford is in for the Nets as well. So 3 changes there. Johnson on the perimeter, guarded by KCP. Screen by Claxton. Johnson gets inside, picks up his dribble, lost the ball, and he turned it over. And KCP hands it to the trailer. Black's got the cornrows. Doesn't have the traditional afro. That's a great cut by Wagner. And he scores somehow over 2. And we get a timeout because Wagner is absolutely cooking. And Geordie is not happy. So the Nets have allowed a 13-2 run here. The only 2 points go in the way of Ben Simmons for the Nets in that time. So right now it's a fair bit of a struggle, I would say. Wagner's got 11 points, and so yeah, the Nets have really got to get a grip, because right now they started the game well, but the last couple of possessions looked pretty disjointed. Haven't really gotten too many shots up. I feel like we're watching Ben slowly building his way back to form, confidence growing as his body continues to hold. Well, I'd like to see a stretch of maybe 5+ games where he plays like this, but it's definitely a positive. Like, it's uplifting to know that he actually is capable of doing this, because for a long time he just hasn't looked good. But I mean, the last game and a half, should I say, he's looked pretty positive. 4 points, 4 assists so far in this game. He has not missed. So he's gone 9 of his last 10 from the field over the last couple of games. So that's a positive sign. The only issue is right now we don't have a player on the court who's scored. So this is sort of what we're going to be subjected to here. Wagner's got 11 for them. Look, both teams only have 4 scorers. Now, the issue, though, is that the Magic are shooting 9 of 13 from the field. Meanwhile, the Nets are 7 of 12, which isn't all that bad. And we've made 3s, but the Magic have been to the line a little bit. And, well, as we've said, they're shooting lights out. So we probably need to force a few misses there. Just get into the body a little bit. Be a bit more physical, because Wagner's got his way. They've done a few nice little cuts off the ball for him, or he's done a few cuts off the ball for him, for himself, and he's created without even needing the basketball in his hands. So, anyway. (25-19) the score. The Nets led by 5 a couple of minutes ago, but right now the lead is looking pretty nice for the Magic. They've responded well after a brief, a bit of a brief slow start here. So Watford is going to handle the rock. It would be a nice start if we could get a couple of buckets here and then just clutch up on the defensive end. Magic in the bonus. Claxton fakes the handoff to Martin. He's looking for another option. It's Johnson with 5 to shoot. He gives it to Milton, who's going to drive it in. Good cross. Gets one up and scores the flip. That's tough. And he is very, very sore. There was no call. I think he got hit in the face. So it's a 5-on-4. And then Martin with the foul to hold things up. We will be shooting... we will be sending them to the line, sorry. Milton got hit where? Oh, we got elbowed right in the follow-through. Or not in the follow-through, just on the landing. It looks like Isaac just stuck his forearm right in the face. And so Jonathan Isaac is at the free throw line as a result, because the Nets, they just had to take one for the team. Otherwise, probably an easy 2. 3:57 to play. 5-point lead for Orlando. Mo Wagner's in the game as well. Isaac scores both. So the Magic yet to miss at the free throw line. And Watford will bring it up. The screen by Claxton. Handoff to Williams back in. Milton. High screen. Clax with the roll. But we do the skip pass instead. Watford fumbled the handle. Claxton in the middle with the left. And he scores. Wagner sagged off. He was trying to stay home and protect the rim. But he allowed that little 10-footer that Claxton definitely practices in shoot around. 4-point game. Vagner on the outside will look for his brother, who's got the mismatch, but he can't get it there. Johnson tried to chase up from behind and pickpocket, but the Magic still have the ball. We blitz again. Caldwell Pope goes baseline and scores, gets the roll. It's a 6-point lead. We're about to enter the final 3 minutes of this opening quarter. That's knocked away, and another turnover. It's KCP making a difference early, and Wagner just lost the ball, and it's a turnover. I don't know about you, but since Claxton's come into the ball game, we've looked a little bit dodgy. .252 to play. So KCP to the bench, and he's been, as I said, probably the most important player for them in sort of holding us up a little bit, because our offense was through the roof early, but he's dug in and helped the Magic get stops on the defensive side. Wagner now will get inside and Euro. Miss, that was offline. A rebound by Claxton. They'll look to push the pace early here and capitalize. Williams to the corner for Johnson, right in front of the Nets bench. It's off. And a board by Wagner, a good box out by Black on Williams, who will pick up Black in the backcourt. Black gets inside, lost the ball. How was it ended up with them? Oh, the luck. The luck. I can't even speak. Claxton will receive at the elbow. Zaire had an open look momentarily. He's going to drive it in instead and kick it out. And the Magic are reading it again. Wagner in transition scores again and probably got a nudge in the back. So they should consider themselves lucky, the Nets, that it's not a foul. And Wagner is absolutely cooking, man. The Nets with another turnover. They haven't looked after it in the last couple of minutes. Claxton's, well, with a bit of a block off the ball to allow an uncontested layup for the Nets. And it's back down to 8. But really, the Nets have just got to get a stop here. They've got to press up. And Wagner, guarded by Claxton on the perimeter. Now it's his brother who will drive in. And there was a travel. So turnover number 2 for Wagner in this game. At the 1:11 mark. And after a very good 11-minute burst there for Wagner. Or, well, I wouldn't say it was a burst. It was a bit of a marathon. A very consistently well-run marathon. Wagner will head to the bench with 15 points. So he's been unreal early on. Milton with an open 2 as Wagner sags off. And Milton has proven that he can hit those shots when the door is left open. So a 6-point lead now for Orlando. Nets have scored the last 4. Mo Wagner will spin on Claxton. Watford gets inside, and another charge by the Nets. You could see it from a mile away. Wagner wants a challenge, and Mosley's looking to his assistance, should I say. That's very, very well done by Watford. Outside of the restricted area, that was always going to be headed the Nets' way. And, mate, the anticipation this year by our defenders to be able to just plant themselves in that spot and get the whistle. Oh, what a find by Watford. He drew 2 defenders. The little bit of a decoy, because it looked like he was going to shoot the ball, but instead a nice little lob pass escorted to Claxton, and we've scored 6 straight. It's Suggs who will send Claxton out to the perimeter as he gets him on a switch. 1-on-1. 8 to shoot. Step back 3 is off. Rebound by Williams. And we can end the quarter on an 8 or 9-0 run if we score with the final possession of the quarter. It's Milton, guarded by De Silva on the perimeter. 4 to shoot. 3 to shoot. Watford cuts to the rim. Oh my God, what is he doing? And that's a very, very careless pass. The Magic have been pretty good at getting into the passing lanes because we are a very drive and kick sort of team. So they're really expecting if it is pretty crammed in the paint, the Nets are kicking out to the perimeter, and that's when you got to be on the swivel and read those passes. And the Magic have done a good job of that, as seen on the final possession where we turned the ball over again for the 5th time. So quarter 1 is done. The Nets trail by 4. It wasn't an awful quarter, but you would like to see the defense lift a little and the turnovers to be cleaned up because it's just been a little bit careless on that side of the ball. So that is the situation right now. If you are enjoying the stream so far, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new. We will be back, not for the next Magic game, which is the next match we play, because that is an early start, and quite frankly, I don't really want to wake up at 7:30 in the morning to watch that. But the Bulls game is the day after, and that's why it's a back-to-back. I figure I may as well play the percentages, and we will be covering that game next. So the reception's been pretty good recently on the streams. It's good to see quite a few more in chat because we did have a little bit of a down period, but the Nets are playing good basketball, and obviously you want to see my reaction to it, and you want to feed off the energy, so all power to you. Ben Simmons has had a good start, 4 points, 4 assists out the gate. The Magic, their percentages have sort of dipped a little bit. We've made the same amount of field goals. We've hit a couple more threes than they have, but the free throw differential is the problem. We do not have a free throw so far in this game. And also, Franz Wagner scoring 13 on 6 shots is a bit problematic. Just a little bit. So, these bench lineups that the Magic roll out, I imagine, is where you cook. Because usually, if you had Vagner and Banchero available, you'd probably stagger those two because both of them can handle the rock. It's the modern game now where wings can do that. So, you know, it's something that we need to exploit today now that they can't have one of those players on the court at all times during 48 minutes in this 48-minute game. So anyway, second quarter action about to get underway, 33-29. The lead was at 10, but the Nets scored the final 6 and cut the lead to 4 as we enter the second, which has just started now. The Nets of Johnson, Milton, Watford, Simmons, and Cam Johnson on the floor. It's Shake Milton who gets the screen set by Ben Simmons. That's a foul, and Milton gets it to go. He draws it on Suggs. He had him in the air, and Milton in the mid-range. He's been doing a really good job of getting into those areas, and yep, Suggs fell for it, and that's a nice move. A nice move. That's what happens when you start scoring in the mid-range. You're going to force defenders to overcommit because they know that that's where you want it. Milton makes the free throw, so our first attempt at the line is good, and already that is an improvement on the first quarter with that 1 and 1 right there. 1 point game, Nets on a 9-0 run, bridging the first and the second, and we have a foul. And it's off the ball, but I didn't see it because obviously the Yes Network stream didn't want to see it either. It just went black for like 3 seconds. Suggs will inbound. Cam Johnson guarding Mo Vagner in the post. Numbers are going to help and come across, which means there's open men on the weak side. However, if you can't make your threes, the Nets will live with that. Simmons early offense. Gets by Isaac. Oh! Ben taking it the length by himself. One-man offense. That's a really good sign there. And that's going at Jonathan Isaac. Jonathan Isaac is no pushover. He's a very good defender. Probably with the same amount of injury problems, but he's on the court right now. That's a really good sign that Ben's doing that. Ben misses both, newsflash, but the Nets are going to get another go because Isaac, getting the rebound, knocked it out of bounds. Let's have a look at who it's actually gone off because commentators included, they think it's off Milton, which it is. And the Magic are going to get the benefit here because it was clearly off the Nets. So regardless of the fact that we didn't get any points on that trip, that is a really good sign for Ben, who will now guard Suggs on the perimeter. That's a shocking pass into the middle. It's great defense by the guards of the Nets. Johnson takes it himself and got blocked. Good defense by the Magic, and we've only got one back compared to their two, and Isaac blew the layup. Good defense, good verticality by Johnson. End to end, Simmons with the no-look. Behind the back by Milton, the give and go, the kick out. It's an open look. Pump fake, extra, Johnson. Oh my God. You cannot let a possession like that go to waste. You cannot let a possession like that go to waste with an air ball, but people are saying that it's taken a hit on the way through, and it was actually partially blocked, which it was. You can tell. You can tell. However, for some reason, it's actually going the other way, and the Nets did not challenge it, so probably inconclusive. De Silva picks up his dribble. Could have been hit with the challenge. Instead, has to roll it back out to Suggs, who takes it downhill, shoots after the pump fake. Great defense by Watford, the partial block. Ben with the spin, down the middle. Watford's open as the trailer. The three, it's waved off because Ben completely removed Suggs. And we have another turnover. Good defense, but right now, we're just not giving ourselves enough chances here on offense. Bro, Ben, what the fuck is that? Just a two-handed shove in the back for no bloody reason. Don't understand that. Black will go inside and score off glass. And so right there is exactly what you don't want. That's too easy. So the Magic gave away 9 consecutive, but that little turn there gives the Nets, or gives the Magic a score, an important score. Milton gets into the mid-range again, and he's getting those looks because Mo Wagner keeps sagging off, and he's going to need to know better. So it's back to a 1-point game, and we have another offensive foul. Ben wants the ball, and Anthony Black is keeping the ball away. Then, Ben and Suggs getting into it. Here we go! Here we go! The Nets wanted to get into it early, but the Magic obviously are a little bit starstruck by our very, very quick offense. And mate, this is a team that doesn't fucking sit down, bro. They are not afraid to talk shit. They're not afraid to ruffle a few feathers. And that's what I like about this team. Because they're all, that is like what G's me up, and it actually riles me up a little bit as a supporter as well. Like, I can get properly involved in this game when my team is playing like a bunch of pricks, basically. So, anyway. I would imagine there's just going to be a double tech on Ben and Suggs. There's probably going to be a double tech, but there was nothing wrong. Let's have a look. Yeah. Double tech. So Nets ball. Anthony Black will get the offensive foul. Meanwhile, Ben and Suggs will get technicals. So the Nets have started this quarter quite well. They've carried over some pretty good work from the end of the first into the second, and it's all been without Vagner on the floor. So it's pretty clear he is their offensive hub, and without him, they look a little bit more disjointed. Ben will facilitate here on the perimeter. It'd be such a piss take if he took a 3 ball. That'd be pretty funny. Johnson is looking for Watford. Gets it back after he picked up his dribble initially. Puts one up. There was no foul. He got his own miss. No look to Johnson. It's a deep 3. It was online, but a couple feet behind the line. Bit too long. Anthony Black will use the screen set by Isaac. Vagner is fouled on the floor by Keon Johnson, who went for the steal, but made sure if he wasn't getting the steal that there was going to be no easy runway to the rim. So 35-34, Magic up by 1. They led by as much as 10. Meanwhile, the Nets led by as much as 5 in the first quarter. Screen set in the switch. Simmons guarding Black. Gets inside. Good D by Ben. Extra. And it's a 3-second call on Anthony Black. Or Mo Vagner, one or the other. Take your pick. But they were planted in there for a very long time. And the Nets did a good job of forcing Anthony Black into being in a standstill. Jalen Wilson's been off for a bit of time with Zaire Williams. Those two are ready to go to check back in as they stand at the scorer's table. Simmons will bounce past to Watford. Simmons sets the screen for Johnson. Milton in the corner, back to CJ. And across court now to Watford. 7 to shoot. Slip screen by Johnson. Allows the runway for Watford. But it was good defense by Isaac and he blocked it out of bounds. 3.4 to shoot for the Nets. That's great defense by Isaac. And the Nets won't have too much time here to get one up. Let's see what the Nets have got cooking here. One of those side out of bounds plays. They love those. Isaac will go to the bench after that good defensive stop. Watford will sit with Milton. Good stint there. Martin's back in with Williams and Wilson. Simmons trying to inbound. And Johnson, well, he moved at the exact point that Ben wanted to pass it to him. And so that one went right to the Nets players on the bench. And so a very, very nothing turnover. But at least it's a dead ball turnover. So the Nets can set themselves up defensively. As they guard here. Anthony Black, guarded by Williams. He'll take it inside. Numbers collapse. De Silva in the corner. That is well lined up. And he hits the 3. Their second bucket of the quarter. Johnson across to Wilson. Keon Johnson now leaves it for Martin. Yes! He hit a lot of 3s from out there the other day. And there's the first of the night. That pass surely went out of bounds as Carter mishandled it in the post. Good extra feed and the reverse by Mo Vagner under the basket over Williams. Simmons to Martin. Back to Ben, who tried to get into a set early to give Martin a look. Martin gets it back now and shoots. And that's a nice floater. 5 straight for Martin, who will now play defense here on Jet Howard, who's in the game. Mo Vagner does not shoot the 3. We have a foul off the ball, and it's Tyrese Martin, who will pick it up. And he was trying to guard Wendell Carter in the post. So the Nets have done a good job defensively in this quarter. Only the 7 points allowed in 5 minutes. That's a pretty good showing. Keon Johnson will sit. Tyrese Martin's got 3 personals, but he will remain out there as Milton checks back in. Mo Vagner will pass out to Anthony Black. No man in the paint for the Magic. They're really trying to keep that wide open. And we have another foul off the ball. And the Magic are in the bonus. So they will shoot free throws the rest of the way this half. And with 5 seconds on the clock, that's a pretty stupid foul to commit, I would say. Got to be a bit more disciplined if you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new. We will be back for Nets Bulls in a few days. That will come a day after Nets Magic, which we won't cover because that is an early matinee start, which means it's probably not even daylight where I'm from. So I'll still be having a nap. Meanwhile, some of you will probably be watching, well, you'll be watching the repeat fixture of this. This is also an NBA Cup game. It is the 4th of 5. Oh, wait, no. I think there's only 4 group games, is there? Think so. And, well, this is the last of them then. The Nets have gone 1-2. They beat Charlotte but lost to the Knicks and the Sixers. So, yeah, that is the situation. If we look at the box score, I would imagine that the scoring has gone out the window, except it hasn't. It's just the fact the Nets can't stop turning the ball over. They've had 7 turnovers, 3 of those Ben Simmons. He's had a pretty good half, though. Been pretty involved. Nearly every net has scored. And for the Magic, well, they've started to, sort of dip scoring-wise a little bit. But even they've been turning it over. They've had 8 turnovers in the game. So they've got, well, they're pretty on par with us. So the free throws are the real difference here. Ben Simmons taking 2 of your 3 doesn't help, but it's pretty neck and neck. I mean, the shot profiles are pretty similar. The Nets have made 3s at 50%, which is a great positive. Let's upgrade this. Jesus Christ, Megan Triplet is in the Brooklyn Brigade right now, and that shit is going off. Alrighty. So 39-40. And it's the Nets leading for points this quarter, 10-7. What's going on here? Oh my god. They got a Megan Triplet cardboard cutout. Are we taking the piss here? Alrighty. Anyway. We're about to kick off here. Out of the timeout. The Magic will shoot free throws. It's Mo Wagner who will shoot a couple. And I believe these are the first free throws of the quarter for Orlando. So Nets have done a better job of, well, making shit difficult for them. However, well, that could all go to waste because now every single foul they commit, which seems to have been the strategy, like with all these wrap-ups, they're going to go to the free throw line anyway. So Nets have just got to try be physical, but within reason. Vagner makes 1 of 2. I don't know why I said makes like that, but anyway. The Nets can tie or take the lead depending on shot selection. Simmons, Wilson, Williams, Martin, Milton in the game. And Wilson will take it right down the middle. The lob! Ben tried to do it with one hand, but he wasn't able to get it together. And a turnover for the Nets. They didn't even get a shot up. Vagner in a switch. Wendell Carter back out to Franz. He's going to shoot a deep 3. Oh my goodness. That's from fucking Orlando, that one. So 44-39. Vagner picks up right where he left off after that 13-point first quarter. Scores with his first attempt of the quarter. Milton again. That shot is no good. Didn't have enough lift. And the Magic can build this lead back up again. They're up by 5. Vagner picked up by Williams. He goes down the middle. Ben is there and forces the short turnaround jumper. Oh, Ben, that pass is the most low percentage look of all time. I like the thinking, and it looks very, very saucy if that was able to thread the eye of a needle and get through, but the likelihood of that actually being a turnover was, well, it far outweighed the positives. And so the Nets will have another go. They get saved by the kickball violation, and Ben will take a seat with that as well. Claxton back in, who will get it here and give it right back to Milton, who sends it to the corner for Williams. Body bump, another body bump, shoots with the right. He wanted a whistle, didn't get it. And a rebound for Franz Wagner, who's going to drive. And there's an offensive foul off the ball again. A lot of stoppages in this game. I mean, last game we barely got free throws in the first half. This game, not too many turnover, or not too many free throws, but a lot of turnovers, a lot of stoppages, a lot of fouls on the floor. So, yeah, a fair bit of stagnant play to it, and neither team can really get into a rhythm. Is Johnson out to Milton on the wing. Claxton looking for a handoff. Johnson was able to change direction, absolutely kill Caldwell Pope off the ball. And, well, that little subtle change of direction meant he was able to lose him and hit the three above the break. So the Nets cut the lead back down to 2. Vagner has a bit of space from 3, but he's going to, well, be a little bit more conservative. However, there's a foul off the ball, and it's on CJ, who is very unhappy because it's a nothing call, according to him. Let's have a look. It's definitely a jersey grab. Yeah, mate, that should not be a foul on CJ. That's fucking ridiculous. Mate, that's so fucking cheap. That honestly could have been called an offensive foul, but... Brick. Ball don't lie. Free throws off. Oh no, why did he complain? I didn't actually see the ball go in, but I just saw his reaction and he looked pissed off. Free throw goes down. Second free throw. Let's hope it's worse than the first, but it's not. It's back to a 4-point game. Into the final 5 minutes of this opening half. The Nets have 3 free throws compared to the Magic's 10. And that's why they lead right now. Johnson drives it in. Easy runway. The two-handed flush. The cam slam. And now the Magic will look to get this back to a 2-possession game. Cross-court for KCP. The roller was Batadze, but good collapsing by the Net defense to deny that pass. And now Franz Wagner will take it one-on-one with Claxton. Get inside, pick up the dribble, shoot a tough turnaround step back. It's off. And there is a foul on the putback. And it's Batadze who's going to go to the line again. Cam Johnson's play off the ball yet again. He lost KCP. He's done that a couple of possessions in a row now. And the Nets are doing a good job of identifying that breathing space that he's got. Batadze makes another free throw here. They've made 10 of those now. Batadze makes both. Back to a 4-point game. So we're all square in this second quarter for points, as it was a 4-point game at quarter time. They're looking for Johnson again. He's going to get it again. He's going to drive on KCP. Pirouette. Move through. And he scores again. That is a tough take. And KCP is no joke of a defender. And he absolutely cooked him there. Block on the chase down. I don't know who it was. The Magic have got another look, though. This is going to hurt. It's off. Get the board. We bat it out. But only Magic numbers. They're going to go again. Third time lucky, they say. And let's see how that goes. Wagner one-on-one. Step back 3 over Johnson. That's off. And the rebound by the Nets. Good persistence on the defensive end. Milton. Screen by Claxton. The roll's on. And the jam. He blew it. Oh my fucking God, mate. You're getting paid 25 mil. It's almost like time slowed down in that very moment to the point where he actually mistimed it. So the Nets had a chance to tie it. Instead, They got to get another stop if they want to have the same luxury of being able to retake the lead. It's a good cut by Vagner and another score off window. They play those on repeat. So back up to 4 again, frustratingly. Claxton again to Johnson, and he's fumbled it, and he wanted a whistle again, but it's going to be a turnover instead, and Vagner forced the fumble and the deflection out of play. Clax, you idiot. Mate. You're 6'11" for nothing. He's blown the dunk, and I even set it up nicely with the call. Anyway, we go back to the box score. It's a 4-point game, and the Magic can get this lead up a little bit more. Wagner's got 18, and he is a clear number 1 strike force for them. There's no supporting cast. There's no assistance. He has scored 18 of their 50 points, and no other Magic player has scored more than 7, but nearly every player has scored. For the Nets, Cam Johnson's been busy in this second quarter. Moments ago, he had only 3 points, but he's hit a couple of threes, and he's got the 10 points to his name here in this first half. However, that turnover was the first of the game for him, and then we've seen some nice minutes from Wilson. Milton. He's had a very good game. 4-5 shooting. He's been at the line. He has not hit a 3. He's hit a lot of his shots in the mid-range, which is nice to see. And we're seeing a very well-distributed minute allocation. Again, for the second straight game, while no Nets got more than 14 minutes, Milton has played the most minutes with Zaire today. And Trendon Watford's played the least on 8. So everyone's getting a fair chance to shine. We're shooting above 50% from the field again. And from 3, we're at 50%. However, probably want to raise that volume and probably want to, knock down the turnovers a bit because there are still, too many for my liking. But it's very clear when the starters are on the floor, the Magic succeed. And when the bench are on the floor, then it's a little bit more tough going. You can see the plus minuses say a lot about the way these two teams have functioned with certain players on the court. So that is the situation right now. It's pretty clear there's a lot of reliance on Franz Wagner for the win today. Anyway, we're about to return from the break. Alrighty. So 50-46. Okay. Nets have only scored 17 in the quarter. The Magic, the same. So the defenses have been rocking up here in this second quarter. We've still got a bit of time to play here in the second. So a bit of time for that to change. It will be key that both teams close out the half on song. But that 3 by Jet Howard is a pretty good attempt at trying to change things. 7-point lead for the Magic. Milton out to Wilson. Since that Claxton miss, we haven't scored. Milton, good pass to Williams. Takes it in, shoots, and that's a bad miss. Wagner is probably going to pull up. He drives in. Williams collapses, but allows an open 3, and you allowed KCP to step into it. The lead's up to 10. 8-0 run in the last minute. Clax, that's all on you, mate. That is all on you. Since that bloody miss... So that is incredibly frustrating because we were close to tying the game up. Instead, we aren't. We aren't even close now. Johnson picks up his dribble. Who the fuck is he passing to there? Claxton wasn't even looking at the ball. That was just a really careless throwaway. And Wagner, the C's parted. It's another open 3, and they hit another tray. It's a 13-point lead. They have hit the last 11, I think. And they've scored 18 first half points off turnovers. This has really happened out of nowhere, to be honest. Milton, Claxton, back to Milton. Lost the ball again, but there's a foul. And Wagner wants a challenge. And Mosley's going to challenge. I'll tell you what, Claxton has been dog shit today. Really? Like, it just hasn't felt like when he's on the court, we should have an advantage, but we don't. Oh, that is a steal every day of the week. If anything, it's probably a foul on the nets because Wagner's been held by the shirt. This is a great end to the half. Great end to the half. I'm the man, the realist. This guy should have way more views. Hey, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. The same people rock up to the streams every single time without fail, and those are the guys I have respect for. The ones who have been here from the start. You guys are the real ones. I'm just doing a job, but, you know, we appreciate it. If you are enjoying the stream, though, make sure to let us know. Yep. It's a jump ball. Damn, they had the basketball after that steal as well, so they probably got stiffed there and probably don't reap the full benefits of what you'd want from a challenge, but they do have an opportunity to get the ball back. The Nets have got to close this half out strongly here. They need to score maybe 5 or 6 points in a row just to remain under 10, because really we have not played that badly, but you are sort of seeing, you know, like the Magic are a good team, and given we don't have the offensive firepower, I imagine like a good defensive unit like the Magic that are well drilled, the Nets are going to struggle through that. Like the open shot quality we usually get quite often, you probably get less frequency because of how disciplined the Magic are on defense. The ball is won on the jump by the Magic. So with 1 minute to play, they'll have an opportunity to buff this up a little bit more now. Good off-ball movement. Carter moves through, blew the layup, got his own miss, put it down for 2 with the stuffer. And so in 2 minutes, this game has just blown out to a 15-point lead for Orlando. It was 2 for so long. It's since that Claxton miss, we have a foul off the ball. And I don't know who it's on. I think it's on Batadze. Mate, it's like ever since that Claxton miss, bro, right at the rim, this has just fallen away completely. That's how frustrating it is. One moment can change everything, right? Milton, back to CJ. Skip pass. Milton's open for 3. Top of the key. It's good. It's money. It's a practice shot. And the Nets get it back down to a dozen. But, well, first and foremost, a great 2-for-1 execution. But now you need a stop and you need to box out. Vagner on the outside will drive. Easy runway, but Ben does well. The backdoor cut wasn't protected, though. Batadze got his own miss. Good knock away by Johnson. And it's going to be Magic ball. With 11 to shoot, there's a 3.5 second difference between shot and game. So the Magic, well, they do what I frustratingly said I wish the Nets wouldn't allow. Ball's inbounded to Vagner here. So they'll look to use the whole clock. Vagner from way back. It's off. Get that rebound. Good board. Ben gets it ahead. It went off Wilson's back to Milton. The lob. Surely he was held. What? Oh my fucking God, mate. He was held going up on the fucking arm, bro. How do you not see that shit? Oh my fucking God. That couldn't have been any more blatant. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, mate. Oh my God, there's a tech. Oh my god, there's a fucking technical because your dumbasses couldn't fucking see a hold. I want to watch it back. Let's have a look. And we were in the bonus, so we would have gotten free throws regardless. Let's have a look. Well, I thought he was grabbed on the arm before he went up. Gave off that impression because that affected Clax's ability to actually collect the ball. The pass was a little bit errant, but man looked incredibly like fucked for momentum because of that hold. Like, it was pretty clear it was like altered with. Let's have a look. Like, man didn't even get a proper run at it. I guarantee you he probably gets up a little bit higher than what he did if he's not getting held. Sure enough, we'll probably know at the break what the hell is going on. I'm assuming. But the lead is, well, a comfy 12 for the Magic, and it really hadn't been like this the whole first half. But a very, very late first half run by the Magic where they score like 13 consecutive points. That gives them this very nice lead going into the halftime break. The Nets only scored 20 second quarter points. They played defense for like very well for most of it, but we said maybe with 3 minutes left, we said, well, you can play good defense for the first 9 minutes, but if you can't close it out, that's going to be the difference maker. And right now, it well and truly is proving to be the difference. We wouldn't have had a 12-point deficit to face if we weren't, we didn't ship off as many points as we did. Let's have a look at what the call is. Well, I'm assuming we will know like at the start of the third quarter. I definitely heard the words technical foul muttered by the official. So let's just have a look at the box score and discuss what was a very interesting first half. Franz Wagner is killing us. He's got 21 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, been very busy. And you just look, right? Basically, the starting lineup for the Magic, aside from Jalen Suggs, is just massively in the positive in the plus minus. Meanwhile, you've got Wilson -15, Claxton -14, and Wilson was out there at the start when we were a +5. We were up 17-12. He hit 3 threes in that early first quarter stint. And so for him to be a -15, he's been running with shit groups for basically the whole game. Cam Johnson got busy in the second quarter, and if it wasn't for him, well, we very well may be staring down a larger deficit because we definitely wouldn't have 20 points to show for in the second quarter. But we've gotten 12 points out of Shake Milton. He has been a very nice, efficient sort of player for us. He's played 15 minutes, so they obviously are giving him a little bit of trust. However, second half, we've got to clean up in a number of categories. The first issue is the fact that nearly every single net has a turnover. So everywhere you look, like possessions are being lost, and that is really important. I mean, we are shooting the ball very well. 20 of 37, 8 threes made on higher than 50% shooting, but we just haven't been able to get up enough shots because we just keep turning the ball over, and some are more, well, forceful than others. The Magic have been involved in, I reckon, like 4 or 5 of those, but there have been like 5 or 6 which we absolutely could have cleaned up on our end. So that's the really frustrating part. And then you look at like where the misses are coming from. Like Keon Johnson's 0 of 4, Watford's 1 of 4, and Williams is 1 of 5. You look at those 3 players right there, 2 of those players having not played many minutes, and you can just see 2 of 9, 2 of 13. So you remove those 3 players, and we are 18 of 24. We are shooting lights out with the players that are getting heavy minutes. However, as we've said, like, the Magic have more shots than us. Like, we forced 9 turnovers, which is a good sign. You know, that's on pace for 18. And, you know, usually when we push that number in terms of forcing turnovers, you give yourself a really good chance of winning. However, we've got to clean it up in the second half because 11 turnovers ain't going to cut it. But that's what a really good defensive team does. And they've been pretty proactive. Contavious Caldwell-Pope has been very, very good. He has not missed. He's had a couple steals. He's played good defense on Cam Johnson, even though CJ has taken the most shots for the Nets. The free throw number's killing us at the moment. We've only had 3 free throws to their 12. The threes are identical for shots made and attempted. And then the field goal number, well, that's pretty marginal, the difference as well. So in a lot of categories, it's pretty much neck and neck. But the areas we could really take advantage, unfortunately, we are victims of the same shit, really. And the free throw number is the big difference ultimately. We need to get to the line more in the second half. However, I would say the officials have put the whistle away a lot for some of our shots. Anyway, that is the break. Claxton stinks right now. He does. Like, it's not even a box score thing, it's an eye test thing. He's not looking great. Skyline, welcome. Go Pack. NBA refereeing at its finest. Well, yeah. It's pretty typical for us to get pinged for a technical foul after complaining about something that should have been called. I mean, that just happens on a daily basis in the NBA. They just need a bit of a pep talk going into the second half because, man, fucking hell. Those turnovers need to be cleaned up. Appreciate you. Cheers for that, Cookie. And I appreciate you as well for tuning in nearly every stream, if not every stream. Overall, though, yeah, it's 49 points is not going to win you a game. It's very strange, actually, that every time we play an Eastern Conference opponent, it just changes immediately. I'm trying to think. So, when we played the Kings, we didn't have Dennis, but we did have Cam Thomas. Now, though, without Thomas or Schroeder, it's a bit more obvious what we're missing. And Shake Milton's not done too bad of a job. Anyway, it's halftime. The Nets have played some pretty decent basketball, all things considered. Like, we're not playing that badly. But we just cannot look after the ball at the moment. So, and you know what? We also need in the second half, we need an aggressive Ben like we saw in the first half against Phoenix the other day, as you would know. He took 7 shots, right? Today he's only taken the 2, and he's taken a couple of free throws. I like the way he got the free throws. He took on Jonathan Isaac. He took it downhill. He didn't pass it off to no one. He just took it himself. And that's sort of what you need to see from Ben here in the second half. I want him to get a triple-double. I want him to get those assists, those rebounds up. Be a bit arrogant and say, I want the rebounds, because I want my stat line to look good. But I feel like if he gets a triple-double, we're going to have a good chance of winning this thing. Because the output from him in the second quarter, he definitely disappeared a little bit more. And even Claxton, man, he needs a fucking head wobble. Seriously, because, mate, he right now is not looking himself. And I get that he's been injured, and I get that he's not getting any form of continuity, because he's constantly in and out of the team with this recurring back problem that can hinder you, of course. We know that all too well, and you've got to play pretty conservative with it. But he just doesn't look... He doesn't look 100, for sure. So, where are our buckets coming from second half? I don't think it's going to come down to a specific individual, because if you look at the box score, you're seeing 5 buckets from Milton, 4 from CJ, 3 from Jalen Wilson. It's not like down to a specific individual. If it's a close game, then I don't know who gets the rock. I think CJ is probably going to get a lot of looks, but I don't know. It's going to be a bit interesting, because I feel like CJ's success is going to come off spot up shooting, with KCP leeching off of him, and just trying to like be an absolute prick and deny those handoffs. It's going to be a bit difficult for, Johnson to handle the rock. A lot of his work is going to need to be done off the ball. So I don't actually know who facilitates that. I don't know if you run Ben down the stretch. I would say Ben is the guy, as you've just put in chat right now. I would say Ben is the guy. I'd play Ben more than Clax down the stretch for sure. Based off what I've seen today, I just feel like, well, earlier in the game we looked pretty good because Ben was pushing the pace, and it really helps as well if you get stops. Now, we haven't done a great job of that in the first half. Vagner scoring 21 on pretty good efficiency, like 3 threes on top of 8 makes, a couple free throws. We've done all right keeping him off the line, but it's more just our volume needs to lift in that area. I want to see some early assertiveness in the second half. I want Ben to force the issue. Don't play timid. Like the other day, he went at Kevin Durant. Then the game before that, in the same game, he went at, a couple taller plays. He went at shorter defenders. I think he went at Ryan Dunn one possession. Like, do that. Yes, you may be dealing with a bit more size on the inside, but take it in there, mate. You're 6'10". So that's what we need to see. That's what we need to see. So anyway, it's going to be interesting though. I've got no idea what to expect here in the second half, to be honest. Some other team stats though, importantly enough. So fast break points, there's like no fast break points. Last game we killed Phoenix in that area, so getting stops is going to be so important to be like, so you can break out and transition. That's what happened in the second half last game. We tightened up defensively and you saw the outcome. Points in the paint is pretty even. But that's because, well, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because that's like the Magic had a pretty good advantage earlier in the game, but ever since that number's like sort of slowed down for the Magic, that really correlates with a increased 3-point shooting volume, and well, they've been making them, so that really helps them out. This is the key thing for us though, right? And this is probably another difference maker in this sort of game. The turnovers, right? So 11-9. Now that figure by itself is not too bad, in the sense that it's pretty even. Like, we're forcing turnovers, they're forcing turnovers. It sort of like levels each other out. However, the Magic have got 10 more points off turnovers than us, and that's basically the difference in the game right now. The rebounding, they have got 7 offensive rebounds to 1. We have only had 12 rebounds in the whole game. So that Ben Simmons play, where he just collects the ball and he bolts and is able to get us into offense early, we didn't see that enough because, well, we had like no turnovers and no rebounds. Anyway, I'm looking at the replay now from what happened before the break, where Claxton looked animated following it. It's because he got pushed. He got pushed on the way up. And so that is why the Magic are shooting a free throw before this third quarter even starts. So it's a load of bullshit. That is just so fucking BS. because this lot couldn't actually, like, open their eyes. So frustrating. So now it's Simmons and Claxton with technicals. Suggs for the Magic with a T. And so it is Wilson, Martin, Johnson, Simmons, and Williams, the five who started the game, and the five out on the floor right now. Johnson, Wilson, drive in, kick out to Johnson. Gets by Batadze, layup, and he blew the miss. Or he blew the layup, he missed it. And now the Magic, early offense. That's a very good look. But Johnson missed it right at the rim. And so now Batadze will get the ball here in the high post and hand it to Vagner on the wraparound. KCP steps into a three. He cannot miss. He's stuck on automatic, as they would say. And it's a 16-point lead, a game-high margin. They've hit 9 threes, and they've really lifted the scoring in this, well, since the 3-minute mark of the second quarter, really. Martin picks up his dribble. Simmons at the elbow, looking for a handoff. Johnson, good decoy play, and he responds nicely. That's a very nice look there by the Nets. It looked like it was going to be Wilson on the wraparound to receive the handoff, but KCP was actually unaware that Johnson had opened up a little bit for space. And Johnson capitalized. So now we need to stop. The roller is Batadze. Numbers are open around. It's KCP, the hot hand. He cannot miss. Another make. It's KCP, who is 6 of 6. Simmons. Cross court. Martin. Knocked away by KCP. It will be Nets ball. Fam, you have got to clamp this guy, bro. I'm telling you, KCP has been their most important player today. Like, he, even before he started, like, firing away from the outside, he was really good in turning the tide. Johnson fell over. He wanted a timeout and he got it after tripping over, and he just death stares the official as if to say, where the fuck is my foul? Because I've been tripped up here. Except he tripped over Ben Simmons. So it is the Nets who call an early timeout here in the third, and it's probably a good thing because they need to work out how to defend KCP. He is 6 of 6. He has scored 17 points, and he's hit 4 threes without a miss. So that is not the way to go. Your point about the turnovers will be key in the second half if they want to come back. Absolutely. But it would also help if they could just, like, defend the 3-point line a little bit. Because I'm going to say the last 5 minutes of this game, bridging the second and third quarters, it's like they've been shooting it lights out, the Magic. I don't know how many, like, makes they've had without a miss, but it feels like they have made their last 6 or 7 shots. And KCP has beefed it up. Like, initially, it was Vagner doing all the scoring, but now it's KCP who they're running the offense through. And so he's got 17 on 6 of 6 shooting. Wow. And, well, between him and Vagner, they've got 7 of the 10 threes. So, not good. It's sort of crazy, actually. Like, the shooting splits are very, very similar. Very similar. But it's like those offensive rebounds that they've been given, amongst other things, which has given them a bit of a free throw advantage, given them a few extra shots that they, well, you wouldn't want them to have when they're up 16 right now and they're going nuts. Mate, this is actually embarrassing by Halliburton, man. In my fantasy team, he is playing like shit. And he's played like shit all year. They're losing to Detroit, who, mind you, aren't all that bad this year. They've got 8 wins already, but fam. Anyway, 68-52 the score. And so, any danger in getting a stop? It will be Nets ball here. With 10-11 to play. 16-point lead for the Magic. It was pretty close for the whole first half. And then since probably the Claxton missed dunk that was wide open, it's been a disaster. Oh my God. Off the inbound, we turn it over. And now KCP's open again. He's off though. So the timeout iced him a little bit, and we send it to Ben Simmons. Get into offense early, right now. 8 steals for the Magic to 1. So that's where you're seeing the crap ton of turnovers. There's a blocking foul on Suggs. It's going to be free throws for Zaire. But yeah, that's where you're seeing all those points off turnovers. It's because the Magic have got a clear extra amount of steals in comparison to us. Like, it's not even up for dispute, really. So Williams at the line. We're going to get a couple shots. And we did say at halftime, we need more free throws, man. Because 3 free throws in a half is not going to win you any basketball games. He makes the first. We actually converted 21 of our 22 free throws the other night. We shot 50, 40, 90, and we're actually very close to doing that again today if things continue the way they are, but the Nets have got to get some stops. It's not the scoring that's the issue today. Wagner will get it off the inbounds. Blitz. Ben needs to help out. Vagner on the outside. The wraparound for KCP. The roller is Batadze. Open corner 3 for Carter. They let the numbers roll over. They sucked them in and found the open man. That is just textbook. Johnson will drive on Batadze, who tried to go for the steal. It's good defense. There's the drive in. And then the turnover. It's the knockaway by Suggs as we try to feed the man in the corner. Wagner, no look. Extra. Suggs, 3. Good. I'm not surprised if we call a timeout, which we do. This lead has ballooned to 20. Mate, they cannot miss. Like, this is elite offense. And look, they're just making all their shots. Like, low percentage shooters are making shots. High percentage shooters are shooting better than they ever have. It's very similar to what we did the other night against Phoenix. Like, it's a Tyrese Martin type disease right here that we're experiencing at the moment. So, 20-point lead. And, well, it's just frustrating because this all happened because of a Claxton missed dunk. We would have had the game tied up. And since that point where we missed that dunk, we have not looked back. Or they've not looked back, should I say. Johnson's got 13. He's the high man for the Nets today. But we're going to need a hell of a lot more from our defensive units because we're just getting absolutely killed. I mean, look at the plus minuses, man. It's disgusting. And to make matters worse, Wagner hasn't even scored this quarter. Like, this is ridiculous. And I don't really know how you stop this. They've got a lot of length out there. But they're just making their shots. They've started the quarter on a 13-5 run. And of course, they went on like a 13-0 run at the end of the second. So those runs culminate and, well, it doesn't end too well if you're on the receiving end of it all. So, man, 20-point game and it doesn't even feel like it. It's all happened so quickly. But we were down by this many against Golden State, and that's when Geordie called a timeout. It was roughly at this mark. It was roughly around the 8-minute mark of the third quarter where you saw Nets players step up. It's not even the Nets are shooting poorly. It's just turnovers are a bit of a letdown. The Magic are playing 3 and D, like, to a T. They're making threes and they're defending lights. Like, they're locked in defensively. I was going to say they're defensively, they're playing lights out, which, I mean, you know, you could say that, but I think they're locked in is probably the better way to describe it. Anyway. So 9 minutes to play. Third quarter. And it is a 20-point lead, but there is a lot of basketball left in this one. So, look, to be honest, I wouldn't be one bit surprised if this Nets team decides, yeah, let's wake up now, and the Magic fall back to the mean in terms of the way they've been shooting the ball. But they're definitely gonna need to lift on both ends. Johnson has another three. He's got to hit it, and that rims out. So that's a look you wanted out of the timeout. I'm happy with that look, but those have got to be made if we want to trim into this deficit. But I think this is where it really starts here. The Magic on offense now. Carter is going to drive on Simmons, loses the ball, and it goes out of play. That is a good start. But the problem is, it's not going to go down as a steal. It's just going to go down as a Magic turnover. And so it basically builds on the issue we had in the first half. Not enough points from turnovers. Let's see how we go here. Ben, take it in, bro. Oh, that's a... What? Okay, it's a foul on the floor. There was a little bit of a web of players off the ball there, and it ended up freeing up Johnson. How is that not a foul on the shot? Mate, he's been fucking slapped on the arm, bro. I think KCP's been teed up. We get a free throw. It's not a tech, so I don't actually know what it is. But it's... Oh, it is a tech. Well, we should have gotten free throws anyway, so I guess we get a little bit of reward there. Johnson needs help. Gets it into Martin. And now Simmons. Drive it, buddy. Zaire does that. He heard me. He got hit on the arm, bro! Oh my fucking god, man. Lob up. Batadze missed the... Oh my god, he missed the dunk, but he got the putback. And what's going on now? It's a technical on Batadze now. Technicals are flying left, right, and center here. Another free throw. How did we not get a foul our way on the other side? That is fucking mental. I swear he got hit on the arms, but I'd need to see a replay, and that free throw rattles out by Johnson. So, fuck, 21-point game. It's just infuriating because I want to see the replay on the Williams miss at the other end. All right. So the Nets just need to start scoring. They need to start doing a lot, actually. There's another foul, and it's on Batadze. Mate, there is absolutely no respite in this third quarter. Foul after foul after foul. And that was just a handhold right there. That was looking pretty romantic by Ben and Goga. So, ball inbounded. Simmons passes to Williams. Tries the reverse. He has been, like, crap at the rim. Like, so many layups missed by him in this game. Vagner now. That's going to be an offensive foul. And Carter has to run away because he'll get hit with a T if he's not careful. We're going to be in the bonus pretty soon. What's going on? A timeout. A timeout with 7:38 to play. I'll tell you what, this game has just gone up a notch. It's definitely gotten a little bit more feisty. We did have a couple technicals handed out in the first half, but getting a little bit heated here. A couple of technicals in the last couple of minutes for the Magic. So, fair bit of, well, let's have a look. Was that a hit on the arm? I don't know. Fucking hell. There's a lot of physicality going on. That probably is an offensive foul. I would not, I'm pretty sure they've made the right decision there. The lead is at 21 though, man. Wow. Who would have thought in the first half that's what the score was going to be? And so the Nets have got a lot of ground to make up. But look, I mean, they've been generating the looks. How do we just get an extra point added? What's the score? 76, 50, 55 on my screen. I don't know how it's 56. That doesn't make too much sense. Do we get a point tacked on? Claxton's into the game. Alrighty. Go-Guard definitely could have gotten something there. Oh, sorry, Ben Simmons definitely could have gotten fouled up, but the Nets have gotten an extra point, and I'll say thank you very much to that because we need every point we can get right now. Martin is getting a lot of attention here by Suggs. Oh my fucking god, there's another foul. It's on Suggs. And we've gotten the point subtracted again, so I crash back down to earth. We've got another foul. This is actually mental. Let's have a look. Was it a... Oh, mate, that is a flop. Get out of here. Get out of here. That is a flop and a half, that. Here's Johnson. After the Nets will go again. Martin down the middle. Picks up his dribble. Passed it off. It's ended up with Claxton, who badly missed the mid-range. He didn't even hit the rim. The Nets are in the bonus, though. A lot of fouls for the Magic here in this quarter. Carter will hand it off to KCP, who will shoot in the mid-range. And he's just that on song. He cannot miss from anywhere. He's making threes. He's making middies. He's making layups. Johnson. High screen. Drive in. And we've got another offensive foul. And it's on Simmons this time. Fucking hell. This third quarter has gone on forever. The Nets are going to look for some offensive spark. And they're going to get it from... Oh, well, they're going to see if they can get it from Trendon Watford here. So 23-point game. Milton's back in. How many points have we even scored? We've scored 6 points in the quarter. Magic have dropped 17. The Nets are in the bonus. They need to attack the rim. Suggs puts the head down, picks up his dribble, forced into a pass, and Carter with the hook shot over the top of Claxton. 25-point lead now. This is unreal. This is becoming a blowout fast. Watford thought about a three, drives on Batadze, picks up his dribble, tries to move through, and another swat. It was easily read. Batadze was a brick wall, and then Vagner lost the ball, so the tip means that Watford, who had not gotten back, he was able to score an easy uncontested 2, as he'd only just gotten up, and the Nets won the steal, so handy 2 points there for the Nets. Wagner picks up his dribble. Suggs, handoff. And that is a foul on Watford. More free throws here for the Magic. It'll be Carter who shoots a couple. Why is it always the Magic that cause issues? Fucking hell. First one's good. Keon Johnson's in the game. You know what? Honestly, just give Derek Whitehead some run. He's on the bench. We're 25 points down. Get him on. Get him on. So Wendell Carter makes the first. The second free throw right now is off. Rebound by Claxton. Suggs was very aggressive trying to get the offensive rebound and could have had a foul head his way, but instead the Nets still have it. It's Milton on the perimeter. Hard screen by Claxton and another fucking turnover. The Magic have played our game plan to a T, right? They know exactly what passes we're looking for. They're in the lanes all the time. That's why they've gotten so many bloody steals. Like, it's ridiculous. So, ball inbounded very quickly, right at the whistle. Mate, what are you lot doing? They were napping. It's a 27-point lead to Orlando. Johnson, high screen. Watford is going to drive. Turn. That's a tough shot, and he's banked it in over Isaac. Far out. 25-point game. Just get a couple of stops, man. But that is just not it, mate. No rotation on the pick and roll. And just an easy uncontested 2 under the basket. Like, mate. Have some shame. Watford fakes the handoff again. Moves inside. Gets it to go. And gets the foul +1. So we tack on 2. And we will get a free throw here at the free throw line. Watford's been trying to tie his shoelace for the last 3 minutes. That's good defense there. Or sorry, good offense to recognize the bad defense. We've got 4:24 to play. Now, if this team can just like go on a bit of a late quarter run, just like score, I don't know, even get it down to 16, 17 points and then see what we can do in the fourth, then that'd be interesting, I guess. 86-62 the scoreline, 24-point lead. Suggs goes downhill. Layup is off. Good rebound. Now push. Claxton. Handle. Watford. Skip pass. Milton. Corner. Faked the 3. Drove it in. Kicked it out. Johnson top of the key. That's off. Claxton. Back tap. Watford will facilitate the second chance. Johnson in the corner. He's guarded by De Silva. He takes it in. Body bump. Extra. Claxton fumbled the fucking ball. Butterfingers, mate. Euro. Vagner. Misses. Board by Johnson. Move it. Watford's going to back down Suggs here, and this is a mismatch. Turn. Foul. And one again. No. What? How? What is that? What is that for? What is this for? Oh my. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my. You are taking the piss. Isaac scores a turnaround 2 as well. Mate, that is never a foul. 30 Magic points off turnovers, man. And we're still stranded on 12. Jesus Christ. That's all you need to know, right? Claxton's going to try take Wagner on himself. Bounce pass to bloody no one. Another Magic steal. It's Vagner this time. Drive in. Layup. And he gets it to go high off the window. 28 points up. And they don't even have Paolo on the team. That's mental. More points off turnovers. Johnson in the corner. Shoots over Isaac. Hits the 3 to cut it to 25. A big 3 to cut it to 25. 2.5 to play here in this third quarter. Wagner guarded by Wilson. Gets it back from his brother. 3 by De Silva. Mate. They're taking the piss, bro. 2:20 left in the third. Wilson, the drive in. Good Euro. And then contorted the body nicely to score for 2. with the right hand, 26-point game. This game is just wow. I did not expect it to be a 26-point margin at three-quarter time. With where we were late in the first half, we've been rinsed ever since. Mo Wagner blew the bunny, and the Nets will get the rebound. Johnson located himself at the corner and then got blocked by Anthony Black. That is ridiculous, mate. And honestly, he probably should have just pump faked and drove to the basket, but easier said than done when you're not playing. That's an easy lob and a bucket. +1. Oh my God. Mate. I mean, this is a game where we've just been killed for size. I thought that was going to happen last game, but this is just wow. This is a humbler, and this is probably the first game I've done all year where it's just been an absolute blowout. Like, mate, 28 points down to Orlando. I mean, we are missing a lot of players. We're missing a lot of creation on the floor, and that's probably why we're turning the ball over a ton, because, well, we just don't have the facilitation on the court, and that's probably why we're turning the ball over a ton. Like, you've got guys that are a lot more disciplined with the ball in hand. However, today we don't have a Schroeder, we don't have a Thomas, even just to lead the offense and provide something a little bit different, a bit more creation when we need buckets. Like, just haven't had that. Black fell over, had to get it in the backcourt after Johnson knocked it away. 1 minute to play in the third. High screen. Mo Wagner's wide open. Howard's also open. That three is off. Oh my God, Clax, mate. How on earth do they still have the damn ball? Batted it to ourselves like 3 or 4 times and still couldn't rake it in. Claxton mistimes his jump. The miss was that bad. Like, that's when you know it's just not going your way. Like, seriously, you have your center right under the basket and you can't even pull the board in. Isaac at the line is going to convert the first, and it is 96-69. One more free throw for Isaac. And that is off. A rebound for Wilson. So, Wilson will feed it out to Watford. Picks up his dribble. Milton. Back to Wilson. Behind the back. Spin move. Over Black. Can't get the angle. Rebound by Vagner. And Black will push the pace here because they want the early offense. They want the 2-for-1. Good knockaway, though, by Keon Johnson. Denied the layup. And so they probably aren't going to be able to execute the 2-for-1 here. 10-second difference between shot and game. 27 seconds left in the quarter. So they've got very little time to get one up. Wagner the spin. Blocked by Claxton. And surely there is going to be a make on this. I mean, it's a 2-on-1. We missed the bloody layup. But luckily we had the extra personnel and the follow by Johnson to cut it to 25 points. The Magic will hold for 1. It's Black guarded by Johnson. Screen. Drive in. Layup. Off the window. Can't get the angle. Clax gets the board. And Milton won't get one off in time as he heaves it up. And hit the 3. Of course. You couldn't hit a 3 all quarter. Heck, you couldn't even look after the basketball all quarter. But you can chuck up a 3 and make it from half court. Jesus Christ. So, it's a 25-point game at three-quarter time, and this one is probably as good as done, but it's not going to mean I go away. We scored only the 22 points there in that third quarter, so the Magic, I mean, they piled it on. They scored 35 third-quarter points. Just when you thought it couldn't get much worse, it absolutely could get a hell of a lot worse. 33 points, I think it was. We went a long while there without points. If we look at the box score, I mean, it's just... wow. I mean, what do you even say? Like, we don't have anyone who's scored over 14 points in this game. And so that is already a red flag at this stage of the game. Let me just update these stats for you. It's always the Magic, though, man. We've got some, like, half-decent scoring efforts. We're still shooting the ball above 50% from the field, man. Or just a tick under. From three, we're shooting it at 50%. However, the Magic, man, in that quarter, they just went nuts. They went bonkers from three. They had the same amount of threes as us at halftime. They've now got 14 threes, and I don't know what percentage that is, 14 of 23, but it is damn good. And they've still got a free throw disparity headed their way as well. They're shooting the ball lights out. They've hit 7 more shots. They've had 6 more attempts. And it's because, well, mainly I said we needed to cut the turnovers down. Instead, well, we went the complete other direction and had 7 turnovers in the whole quarter. And now, well, we've got 3 players with 3 turnovers in the game, which is already problematic. You've got KCP with 19, shooting 7 of 8. You've got Vagner, who only scored 2 points in the quarter. He didn't even have to do anything. The supporting cast did a great job for the Magic in the third quarter, and that's where they've got this huge bit of separation. So, yeah, we've got 1 quarter to play. Let's honestly just see what the Nets have got in this fourth quarter. I just want us to outscore them, really, because, well, today it's been pretty comprehensive. The way they've dealt with us. Look, as this fourth quarter gets underway, we've got Johnson, Milton, other Johnson, Simmons, and Watford, the 5 on the floor. Black gets inside. He lost the ball, but he was also fouled going up. 2 free throws for him. What was I going to say? I've completely forgotten. Oh, yeah. Well, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure to show your support on it, despite the result today. We will not be back for Nets Magic in a couple of days. That is an early start, which means that I will not be awake. However, I will be back the day later for Nets Bulls. So, both free throws made there by Anthony Black to get it back out to 27. Yeah, so we will be back for Nets Bulls as well. That'll be an interesting one because both teams are with similar records right now. And I cannot really get a gauge of where the Bulls are at, to be completely honest. Anyway, another steal for the Magic, another turnover. Anthony Black, the kick out. Isaac, I mean, that's a wide open look. He's short on it. And a rebound by Keon Johnson. He's got to get it ahead to CJ. He ignores him. He gives it to Ben. Johnson gets it back. Step back 3. And that is well short, man. Board by Da Silva. Anthony Black will drive in. Vagner is going to try his luck from out there too. He misses. You got to be smart with this. Just take 2s, man. Ben, drive it in, bro. Milton for 3. That's good. And obviously, if there's any way the Nets are even going to come close, they just need to make 3s. But if you can get a few turnovers, force a few misses, you can cut it down equally as quickly with 2s if you're smart with it. Black on the outside, picks up his dribble. 6 to shoot. 1-on-1 with Keon Johnson. Cross gets inside. Falling away. It's another foul. 1.6 to shoot, and you've given away a foul. It was a wild layup attempt as well. And so the Magic can knock up the ton here. So the Nets, with the likely possibility of it being a L today, it is, well, first the free throw make there by Black, but the Nets will drop to 9 and 11. Second free throw is off, board by Simmons. We get it ahead. Early offense. Johnson drive in, picks up his dribble. Ben will hand it back to Keon Johnson, who will take it baseline. Good defense by Howard. Good skip pass. Milton again. That's off. And the rebound by Isaac, who's just an absolute man-mountain. He is way too tall. Getting a few looks here. We would be able to trim the deficit down if we could make him. Isaac to the corner for De Silva. They're looking for Mo Wagner there in the middle. There is a foul on Watford. In the low post as he was trying to guard Vagner. A clear wrap up there. Ball inbounded to Isaac. Watford guarding in basically the same position. Isaac squares up and misses. Ben gets the rebound. Bounce pass. Threads the needle. Johnson forced into a kick out. Gives it to another Johnson. Johnson gets it back. It's all Johnsons. Mate. I might as well have just spammed the word Johnson. Johnson, Johnson, Johnson. Watford gets it after Johnson gets the steal. Milton. Extra. No look. He had me deceived. And Watford scores for 2. It's back down to 20. And the Nets have not been able to do that enough today. Get steals and run in the open floor. That is a beautiful dime there by Milton over the head. That's saucy. And so it's a 20-point game now. The Magic led by as much as 28 points. Pete, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see ya. Orlando Magic refs. Not quite. There's like the calls are valid. Let's say that. Alrighty. Well, I mean, the Nets are trying to go all in here. They haven't thrown in the white flag as of yet. They've still got quite a few on the floor from the start of the game. They've still got Ben out there. They've still got CJ out there. They're running Johnson squared at the moment, and it's working. Milton's been almost our best performer today, so I think we've got to give him quite a few props for his performance. I mean, he's shooting 6 of 10 right now, and Cam Johnson's 5 of 10, so you're getting that balance as we've seen all year, but nowhere near as high of a volume today compared to previous games where he's usually pushing the 20-point mark. The Magic are running a bench lineup right now, so that's probably where a little bit of the vulnerability is seeped through. And yet again, these shooting splits are fine. The Nets have been shooting the ball fine today. They just haven't put enough shots up. The free throw number, I mean, that's pretty clear disparity of 12. And the three-pointers, when you're allowing them at that clip, we are just lucky that the Magic don't, traditionally attempt a ton of threes. Because, I mean, they are shooting it so well today. 14 of 25. So, not good. Alrighty. So, of course, this is an NBA Cup game. This is the 4th game of 4, I think. This is important for the Magic because, well, they need as many points as they can for the point difference. They need to ensure they don't concede and they keep scoring and keep this margin as big as possible because every point counts in order to get, well, in order to get, like an automatic pass to the playoffs for the NBA Cup, because they've already got a plus 37 point difference. So They already far supersede other teams in wildcard contention and all that, but a 20-point lead right now is giving them an even bigger point difference, but maybe the Nets can trim into it a little bit more because the Magic have brought their starters back in, but committed an offensive foul. So it's a 20-point game. Ben has been hit in the face by a Batadze elbow. There is a foul on Carter up top, and it was Watford who got hit. So a lot of basketball left in this game. The Nets play quick, and they shoot a lot of threes, which means a 20-point lead in the modern game is nothing. And especially against the Nets, it's nothing. So, I mean, the last 3 games has caught me by surprise, so maybe there's still a surprise or two left in this game. Ben needed to roll to the rim there. There was an open lane. Johnson's going to shoot another 3. Mate, Ben, you have got to take that in. Easy layup on offer. He's just sitting at the 15-foot range, not doing anything, mate. I wanted to see aggressiveness tonight the same way that we saw the other night, and it's just stopped in the second half. Wagner, oh my God, he had Ben on skates, but it was off. Johnson is going to run right ahead of the pack and then has it knocked off his leg. You have got to capitalize, but that is proof of how important KCP is to the Magic. Last line, Keon Johnson had done a great job of running it end to end, but we get absolutely nothing out of that sequence. A good defensive stop. Here are the Magic now through Suggs. Switch, shoots over Ben and misses. They cannot buy a bucket now, so they're leaving the door slightly ajar. Milton on the perimeter is going to hand off to Keon Johnson. Watford now is going to fake the handoff and take it to Batadze. Kick out back to Milton. He'll drive on Vagner. Can't lose him though. Tries to shoot. It's great defense. I mean, we just don't have the size, and nor did we have the acceleration to get by him, and another miss for the Nets. But the opportunities have been there. I reckon we could have potentially gotten it down to 15 if, you know, the Magic weren't clamping. That is a tough 3 by Vagner. It's off again. Another rebound. Oh my God. Are you fucking joking? We got the rebound. Suggs knocked it out of Johnson's hands, but it went off Johnson. Are you taking the piss? And Martin hasn't been on the floor for ages, but he comes onto the floor now in the 4th quarter. He's barely seen minutes. Or maybe it's because there's been that many stoppages that I've really not been able to keep track. Wagner the spin, and he scores for 2 over the smaller defender. The Magic finally hit 100 points. They'd been stranded on 99 for quite a while there. They've only scored 5 points in the quarter. So really, if we wanted to, we could have made a run already. Watford the scoop, that's got to be a goaltend, and it counts. So back down to 20. 7:07 to play in the game. The Nets will be lucky if they score 100 points. So they've got a long way back. But the Magic have been missing, so anyway. Batadze will go to the bench. Let's have a look. Oh, he may have gotten there. Batadze. That looked like it was going in. But didn't the ball go in? I need to go back to this. Did the ball not go in? So even if he did block it, won't the shot count? Let me have a look. Block. It sits on the rim for a while, so I didn't catch it. Oh, it didn't go in. Okay, so oh, that is really tough, but he's gotten there. He's gotten there first. That is a ridiculous block. Oh my God, how has he gotten there? I reckon he's gotten there a fraction of a second before. honestly, Watford just needed to, like, I mean, granted, he had to go at that angle in order for the ball to go in, but he almost needed to rush it off the backboard, so it would have been a goaltend because Bitadze was committing. Happy to catch the stream despite the game. Yeah, good man, Pete. Cheers, mate. Good to see you in chat, though. We've been here for quite a few games, so just living the life as a Nets supporter, mate. Right now, it's not we're not living in the best of states right now, but you know, I don't know what's going on here. I'm looking at the replay center and it looks like they may lose it. It's a successful field goal, so they are not successful on that challenge, the Magic, but I don't think they'd be too fussed, given they're up 20. Like, they've really got nothing to lose. 7 minutes to play. I mean, when else are you going to use it if, you know, they could be a handy 2 points. You just never know with the way this has gone. Like, they scored a lot of points at the back end of the second and the start of the third. You just never know in the NBA. 20 points can be picked up in 7 minutes, but mate, the Magic would have to have some form of an almighty collapse. So we'll see what the Nets have got left in the tank here. And the Magic have got basically their starting five. So it's going to be a really tough ask. Wagner's going to go down low and score the high percentage too. I mean, you are just going to get killed in that. Like, we just don't have the size there. And that's going to be exploited every day of the week. Martin, the handoff to Wilson. Now to Milton up top at the logo. Cross court to Martin. They are picking us up at the 3-point line. They know exactly what we want. Martin goes up. Didn't get the foul. He had an open man in the corner. He ignored him. He went himself, and another miss for the Nets there. Vagner on the outside to Bitadze. Now to the corner for Isaac. It's way too open, and that doesn't go down. The rebound by Simmons. It's going to bring it forward. Does well to fling it to Martin in the corner. That's an air ball. My God. Well done by Ben, because he had a fair bit of attention on him by Suggs in the backcourt, but it doesn't matter. Wagner to Suggs on the wing. Goes baseline, lost the ball, and we get a steal. Johnson will push the pace. We've got the numbers too. Extra. Martin's open in the corner. Pump fake. Open three, and that's good. We're back under 20 with a little bit under 6 minutes to play. We're in the second half of this fourth quarter. And I would imagine it's going to be pretty smooth sailing for the Magic. They'll use the full clock on their possessions, because time is obviously not our friend. Claxton is back into the game for the final 5 minutes. I don't know who is coming to the bench. I would imagine it's Ben. So if only we had a good offensive fourth quarter, this game could be honestly like an 11-point game. It's just a pity the Magic have clutched up defensively. Claxton is in, Ben is off. So let's see what we've got to close this game. Wagner on the wing. He's guarded by Milton. 6 to shoot. He backs him down. The double arrives. He moves through. He lost the ball. He got it back and he scored over the top of Claxton. And that's him getting his way right there. He's been smart getting a couple of buckets right at the rim in the last couple of possessions. Johnson in the corner had it knocked away by Isaac on the drive. And he's just a great defensive piece. I'd actually, if he was like fit and firing and the Magic gave up on him because of all the injuries, I would have loved to see what he could do in a Brooklyn sort of rebuild. That would be a very Sean Marks type signing. Johnson's getting extended run here. Keon Johnson. Oh my God. Bitadze is absolutely rinsing And Suggs won't get credit because he forced Keon Johnson to hang in the air and put up a really difficult shot falling away. And so Batadze, an easy rollover. That helped defense. I mean, that was always gonna... Like, that was always getting sent to the second row. 12 magic blocks in the game. And that's why we've limped our way to 84 points here. Milton will have an open three. Oh my god, a rim grazer, mate. We are badly missing threes. No nets have gotten back here. And Suggs scores an easy two. Milton was too busy daydreaming after that bad 3-point miss. It's a 23-point game. This one's gonna be done. And so the Nets don't come close. Wilson takes it in. He is fouled and he'll get to the free throw line to cut the lead down a little bit and make the scoreline look a little bit prettier. How on earth is that a non-shooting foul? So, really, like, the defense is just clamped. Irrespective of the personnel, their system always stands the Magic. And that's why you're seeing, even with a lot of absences, there's another block by Batadze. He is ridiculous. He's just playing like a man possessed right now. I've never seen Batadze play like a shot blocker, like, in this fashion. Like, he's blocking everything. And yet again, I have to, like, pay the Orlando defense credit, like the guards, because they are not getting beaten on the drives, and it's allowing that extra man, that help defender, which is Batadze, to roll over. So, really, all these blocks that Goga is getting it's not really a, like, the guards need a lot of credit. He's got 5 blocks in the game. I reckon that's got to be a career high. Like, I don't reckon he's ever had that before. We've had another stoppage here. Another foul on the floor. There's been a couple in the last couple of seconds. Milton didn't have space on the three. He gets inside. Oh, behind the back and the jam by Claxton. Milton's had a couple of very saucy dimes in this game. He had one over his head to the trailer, and then he had another one just right there behind the back. Suggs gets inside, the lob up. Oh, you're kidding me. How has he tipped that in? He wasn't even interested in collecting the basketball. Milton the runner, there's a foul. And it's on Suggs. I'm really surprised that they've run their starters for this long. So, 109.86 the scoreline. The Magic have well and truly had our number in this game, which is unfortunate because we started the game really well. And ever since Claxton missed that dunk in the second quarter, like, wide open uncontested, it would have tied the game at that stage at 48 apiece. It's that sliding doors moment right there. That moment right there is where the game fell to pieces for the Nets, and they never ever recovered. So, a couple of free throws here for the Nets right now. One more free throw here for Milton, who I think has been a shining light in this game. Like, he's been really... Like, we needed a bit of a guard presence tonight, and, well, granted, we don't have many guards available at the moment, but he did a pretty good job of getting baskets at an efficient rate, but nowhere near the output of Schroeder. Batadze fakes the handoff, the kick out to Da Silva, who shoots the three and hits another tray. They're built different in Germany, which is where he was born. And he's got 13 in the match. 24-point lead. Wilson will drive in, move through, kick out to Milton again. Can he add to his point tally? Draws the foul. And we've got more free throws for Shake. So 2:40 left in this game. It's dragged on a little bit. Let's just say it how it is. But regardless, I feel like it was overdue. This is very much a Nets. This is the performance. These are the performances we were expecting from a team that's tanking. Without Thomas and Schroeder, I mean, that backcourt's been huge for us this season. The Nets just haven't had the firepower, really. Like, we wouldn't have won if it wasn't for Schroeder the other day. And I feel like we could do with another 20 or so points on the board from Dennis. And, well, the turnovers would have been trimmed down. So all those Magic points off turnovers, that's been a huge difference in this game. And I feel like with a primary ball handler actually available, that would have been a brilliant sight to see today. But unfortunately, we've had to live with, well, the flaws of not having one. Johnson hits a deep contested three to cut it down to 20 with 2 minutes to play. And so while this one is done, it would be nice to see them close this one out in a solid fashion. The Nets get another steal. They've done a bit of a better job in getting steals in this late game. Claxton's going to go at De Silva, shoot off glass, and gets the bounce to go. So back down to 18, and the Nets are playing right to the very end here because, of course, the point difference matters. But not for the Nets because they're already eliminated. De Silva fakes the handoff and gives it to Houston, who's in the game for the first time tonight. Corey Joseph is playing. I haven't seen that happen for years. And a three goes down for Cole Anthony, who also did not get any minutes in this game. They ran Anthony Black off the bench. Milton again. Nice finger roll for two to cut it down to 19. With 1:20 to play, Anthony will drive in. No look. Three in the corner for Howard, and he squared up and hit the three. His dad is the Nets assistant coach, so obviously he taught him a thing or two. Johnson will pass out to Martin, guarded by Houston. Back to Johnson. Pump fake. Lost the ball. Turnover. And the Magic will get a chance to run in transition as the clock winds down. The three by Joseph is off. That's why you're not in the league, buddy. Correction, it wasn't even Joseph. It was Caleb Houston. Excuse me. So the Nets' 3-game win streak ends here. The Magic will bring the ball in and shoot a quick trigger three, which is off. The rebound by Claxton. The Nets will push the pace, and they'll probably get one more look at a possession. High off the window by Johnson. That was nice and clean right there. But unfortunately, we did not see that polish enough today. With Batadze being a brilliant rim protector, Corey Joseph follows up on an initial miss. They get a couple more chances, and somehow they recycle this to score again a reverse layup, and that is probably going to wrap things up. They'll shoot another 3-ball, because why not? Let's see if we can get the 100. Johnson, step back 3, and he hits another tray, and so it's a 120-101 scoreline. The Magic are going to push the pace, because they need to hit another shot, and they do through Corey Joseph. And that may matter for something. A 23-point emphatic victory over the Nets. We got absolutely killed in that second half. And that is it right there. We outscored them in the fourth quarter. I did say I wanted that in the fourth quarter. So I guess that's one positive extraction to take away. But that's not really big picture, is it? We didn't play nearly as well as we should have today. And this is usually the way the Nets lose. Heck, it's usually the way any team loses. If you are going to turn the ball over as much as you do, you're going to get cooked. The Magic are a very well-oiled machine. They know how to play, irrespective of personnel. It screams a good system. And even without Paolo, they were hitting shots at a very high rate. They were exploiting mismatches. They defensively were clamping, and they were running in the open floor and capitalizing. I mean, they end shooting well above 50% from the floor. They shoot over 50% from three, and they take a page out of our book, hitting 18 threes in a game. They hit free throws. And look, we forced 17 turnovers, which isn't too bad in hindsight. However, we had 20 of our own, and that is a problem on any day. On top of that, we had no one who scored really more than 20. I don't know how many points. Actually, Shake Milton had 22. So a team high today. That's not a bad performance. He can definitely keep his head up. And we definitely had some varied performances. Watford scores 13, but Zaire was nowhere near good enough today. A lot of misses at the rim. And then Tyrese Martin, of course, crashed back down to earth and became an NBA player that is probably nothing more than fringe because he was getting picked up on the perimeter. We weren't getting enough rebounds in this game. We weren't able to push it in the open floor because we were turning it over ourselves. It had a knock-on effect. They were making buckets. We were playing half-court offense, and we simply couldn't afford to do that without a primary ball handler that we had Ben Simmons, but we desperately needed a guy that could score the ball on top of facilitate, and no Schroeder, no Cam Thomas. We got cooked. And it was really the back end of the second and that whole third quarter, which was the massive swing of momentum. And that ultimately gave them the 23-point cushion that they needed. Goga Batadze, I don't think has ever had 5 blocks in a game, but he did today, and he was a plus 28. That wasn't a team high. Vagner was a plus 35. So that starting lineup absolutely killed us. KCP, great defense. Very proactive there. Scored 19 on 8 shots. And ultimately, we got absolutely killed. Points off turnovers, right? Turnovers are nearly dead even. 20-17 with 3 extra, but they had 15 more points off turnovers. They got 34 points from 17 turnovers. That's basically a 2-pointer for every turnover. So not only were we turning the ball over, but we were doing a pretty bad job of ensuring that didn't result in scoreboard damage. Points in the paint was pretty even, and that's pretty surprising given our lack of size. Well, we had 14 points via courtesy of the fast break, compared to their 8. But yeah, obviously we just did a shit job of, looking after the rock, and it doesn't seem like, their points were coming off quick transition plays. It was coming off the half court. So we just weren't defending well today in the half court. We weren't forcing knockaways. We end with 5 steals and 5 blocks, but we buffed that up in the back end of this game. The Magic, man, you're not going to lose too many games when you have 13 steals and 13 blocks, which is what they had today. That's just a stellar defensive performance. And they end +5 on the boards. They had 6 more offensive rebounds. So a lot of areas that we capitalized in the other day. And I said, you won't lose too many games if you're on the right side of this. Well, we found out what happens when you're on the wrong side and everything is slated towards the opposition. It's not going to end in good things. We don't even end the game shooting the ball that badly. I mean, we shot it at 48% from 3 again today, 49% from the field. But I cast my mind back to the earlier, I cast your mind back to what I said at the start of the stream. Earlier in the season, when we played the Magic and lost by 15, they had very good shooting splits. They shot 52% from the field, 50% from 3, and they got to the free throw line a boatload more than us. And honestly, it has worked out in the exact same fashion today, and it's resulted in something very, very similar. So, overall, and in that game as well, 17 turnovers to their 12. So they have been disruptive time and time and time again. So honestly, yeah, we need to play all our games in the West. Their 11th win from 12, there is a reason for that. And even without Paolo, they look like a force. Hope Sean Marks learns from this game and trades Dennis. Well, yeah, I think he could be on the chopping block, having seen how many turnovers we put up without him. But it's really down to whether you want a good leader or not. Do you want someone that can lead a young group, or do you just want this team to walk around every single game like they've got blindfolds on and they don't know where they're going? Because today it felt like the blindfolds were well and truly on today. So usually Dennis is like that leader for them and can hold their hands and guide them through it a little bit, especially when they need a player to lean on. There's been quite a few games this season where they've looked to Dennis and he has been a very good presence for us. We didn't do too bad. Really, I'd like to see how we would have played if we had a point guard. If we had a Dennis or if we had a Cam Thomas, I think this game's a lot closer. Because as I said, we shot the ball well. The stats don't lie. Anyway, we're going to wrap this one up here. Thanks for tuning in. We will be back, not for the next Magic game, because granted, I hate watching the Nets play the Magic, and I already know where this one's going to go. I'll be surprised if we win. But I think the likelihood of us winning is probably slim. So we will be back, not for the next game, but the game after, which will be Nets versus Bulls. It will be interesting to see, as Ian has highlighted, what Geordie comes up with, because, you know, we've learnt from, well, there's going to be some key learnings from this game, and we'll be interested to see how they go about it. Mainly, how are they going to counter Orlando's defense? You know, because they've been very proactive, or were very proactive today, getting in the passing lanes, staying home and playing drop coverage, because they knew we wanted to attack the rim. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of interesting takeaways from the next game. And it'll be interesting to see, what translates over, if we're just going to see the same thing all over again. And also who's going to be available, because that could alone dictate a different result or a much closer game. But anyway, we're done here. We will be back for Nets Bulls. So, that'll be on Monday night if you're in the US, Tuesday morning if you're in Australia. But until then, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to drop a like on the way out and subscribe so you know when I go live next. And until then, stay safe. Chat to you soon and catch ya. See ya.